Greetings and welcome to The Thirsty Mage, the podcast where we keep surprises, not secrets, from our friends, which is why most of the show notes are on another document until I shortly reveal the topic. Joining me is the clairvoyant David Lloyd.
Yes, been looking forward to this episode for a bit. Not looking forward to the point where you tell me what the game is and my brain decides not to work again.
Well, I do know that you've played it within the last decade.
Oh man, if it's not within the last week, I have doubts.
Even the last week would be tricky with how many games
would you know
play.
What? Yeah, exactly.
I know I finished Final Fantasy 1 last night, and that's as far as I go.
Also with us is someone I'm hoping doesn't have any issues pertaining to his memories, Casey Gibson.
You're barking up the wrong tree on that one. Especially a tired version of me.
I was gonna say, I don't know if our memories work before 8 a.m.
Before 8 p.m.
We're gonna find out.
Well, before we do that, I accidentally bought a Magic the Gathering pack the other week because I just saw it from across the way and thought it was a Final Fantasy one.
Oh,
so I want to talk through that to be a helpful hint for what I've played. It being Magic the Gathering explains why the first card says bird instead of chocobo, though. I was very just why it just says bird. We've got some crystals. We've got a Sabatender. We've got, I'm gonna guess that's Final Fantasy 6 because 6 is the one with the Magitex people in, aren't they? Espers and stuff. Search for the Frozen Esper to full art. We've got Balam Garden, if that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Chocobo Racetrack. Ether, that's boring. Auron's Inspiration. A really, really creepy looking one with Kefka. It's called Laughing Mad. That's really... I don't like that at all. We've got Aerith Rescue Mission featuring the Stairs. I don't know, do you pronounce it Queer Quinn? Wait, is it 2 Qs? I thought it was just Queerin. I don't know what game those are from. QIRN Merchant.
Isn't that the guy from?
It says it at the bottom
9?
of the cards. There you go. Final Fantasy 11 in this case.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that. It tells you
Almost.
in the. Yeah, it tells you at the bottom. So, like this one, Final Fantasy 14 for Paladin's Arms. Geisel Greens. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it either. But the Chocobo food. Another Kefka one. This one, not as terrifying looking, but I guess a terrifying scene. Light of Judgment. And okay, this explains it. All the ones I don't know are like from Final Fantasy 11. We've got a Q-Trub Forayer, and it's just some really weird looking. Looks like a Redead almost, but if it actually moved a lot more and had a sword. So, David, make sure to have your button on the queh button because I've been chomping at the bit to talk about this game. I just beat it over a week ago. And like the owners of this game like to do, we are retreading over old topics because we are doing a spoiler cast on Final Fantasy VII because I played it and I want to talk about it.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes.
The OG.
My brain works for that one.
Okay. It was really hard to. I guess the helpful thing is that you guys weren't on Twitter anymore, so I just didn't post on Blue Sky, and I mostly kept my posting to TikTok. I think of my screenshots and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
you won't find me there.
No, you won't find me there either.
I had to be careful this week where we had to wait an extra week because there was a bit where I think Worth It posted the Sister Ray, and I had to be very careful and just call it the canon and pretend like I didn't know what it was called because I didn't want you guys to know I'd played the game. But before we start, I want to say last week I listened to your episode on Final Fantasy VII in regards to the Switch port, which is the version I played, and the reason why David is a clairvoyant is because in May 2019 when you guys were talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. He said, "What would be funny, though, is if they did episodic and the first episode is just Midgar."
Yeah.
Ah.
So he
Who
said
knew
that, like,
David was could see into the future?
yeah, He also said it would be funny if nobody bought the second one, and I don't think that's quite the case. But the sale numbers are lesser, so
Mm. Well, it's funny now they're trying to push those first two games on everyone. The remake, the first part is like in USD is like $14 right now in the eShop, which is crazy.
It's like $25 Australian, and it's like
yeah, and like especially on the like on Steam, that wouldn't surprise me too much, but on a big fat discount on the
even
eShop is always
Rebirth
sort of
is a
startling.
bit on sale on the eShop.
Yeah.
Like that only came out last month on the eShop, so
They're like, please just play these so you buy the last one at full price.
yeah. So did you guys know that Final Fantasy VII is a good game?
I've heard.
You've heard? Yeah, you've heard.
If I recall correctly, I remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's I mean, it came
this
out
cool
when I was
guy
like
named Sid who's angry all the time.
yeah, very angry. Oh my goodness. I mean, the game came out when I was like 2 years old, and I didn't have a PlayStation until PS3, so I can't blame myself too much.
Excuses.
Yeah. You should have had that game wrapped up by 3.5.
I also had a bit of a grudge against it because Cloud got added to Smash Brothers before his game got put on. Well, the Switch and didn't even get to the Wii U. I was very mad about that because it was like he doesn't deserve to be in here.
Whoa.
Yeah. And yeah, so I knew people said it was a good game, but I just, sometimes you're like, well, like, is it that good? If it, I think it's that good. I think it's quite great, actually. I really enjoyed my time with it. I'd give it
this is
probably
bringing tears to my eyes, Paige.
I'd give it about a 9 out of 10, honestly. There's only like a couple things that bring it down a bit. And, obviously I knew the main spoiler of the game and vaguely some stuff.
You do get to ride a chocobo, I know.
Yes.
Spoilers.
The thing happens at the end of disc 1. But the only other things I sort of knew was that Cloud had some memory issues in regards to like him and Zack, and also about what Kate Sith was, because my first exposure to Final Fantasy VII actually was watching Advent Children, and for some reason my husband was telling me that like, oh, that's not actually like this cat thing, it's just a guy remotely controlling it, and it was like, first of all, why are you spoiling this for me? And two, it had no bearing on the movie in question because he just barely did anything in that movie. And because I was expecting to talk about this last week, I actually was like watching Advent Children again. Except I had rented it on Amazon and they don't have the dub, and it's also not even the version with the extra like cutscenes. So it's like,
but I've still never seen that movie.
I've got the DVD, but I haven't watched it yet. Like I watched Advent Children like, I don't know what it was, 20 years ago or 50, like more than 20 years ago, I guess.
About
22
when it came out, I think,
or 21, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a very good movie. It's
no.
Especially
that's
like
the only thing I remember about the movie.
Especially like seeing the
great.
ending of the game now, and it's like, okay, we're going back on that, and we're doing this instead. And it's like, okay, it exists to put them in cool outfits and make them do fights and stuff. That's the whole vibe of it. But we're talking about the actual original game, Nintendo Switch version. It was when you did your episode. It was before it was on a cartridge. It is on a cartridge now. It was in a double twin pack with Final Fantasy VIII remastered. America only got that last year, which is weird because Australia they got it in 2020.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
I remember
like actually
on Best Buy like website sometimes, and I'm like, it's so weird. I mean, I'm all for it, but it is definitely weird.
And I remember trying to play it a few years ago, but in this port of the game, there is one safe point that is a liar. There's the one by the pillar, if you save, because I would like, do that first bombing mission, and then I would save there, and I close the game, and then I open it, and my save isn't there. And I did it again this year. Same thing. That save point is the devil. So if you play Final Fantasy VII, you can save there, but like don't close the game. Find another save point and then close the game. Just play a little bit more, because that is the only one that doesn't work.
That's funny.
And there's also like an early bug that I managed to not get, thankfully, but I was doing, there's a lot of save points, so just like slots, so you just use those so that you don't have any major issues. So I guess before I start talking about how good it is, I'll probably talk about my only real low points of the game, is aside from like those glitches.
When it was over.
Yeah.
Not enough Tifa.
Yeah.
Because of the pre-rendered backgrounds, many of which are very beautiful, even though they didn't up-res those ones, I guess they probably don't even have them, honestly. They probably don't have like the...
Yeah, those files are long gone.
Yeah. Even if they were slightly better than what they present, I don't know, even. But we know how they treated Final Fantasy VIII, so I doubt it. But it can be really hard to pass where you're going on certain levels. Like, at least for some of them, I know it wasn't just me. There's the one with the beam very early on in Midgar. And there's any ones where there's bridges or things sort of like going over the top, and then you're trying to figure out where am I going? And I'm like, oh, I walk on that bit. I can't walk on that bit. There's an option where you like click a button and then it shows you like yourself and like where an exit is, but it wasn't even remotely helpful for actually navigating it, because it only show you the other points of interest when you'd use them. And there was a bit in, I think the hardest part for me was like in the train yard, and trying to navigate that was quite difficult. I found very early on, I was sort of looking up some things. Like there was a couple of puzzles in the Shinra building that I wanted to get the most of it. But for the most part, aside from looking up, because there's 2 optional party members, and after Yuffie gave me some trouble, I was like, okay, let me just look up what exactly to do. I didn't have to look up anything pretty much for the entire game. It's very...
Oh, that's good.
Well, they say go this way, or you've got the big, once you get out of Midgar and you've got the big open area, you see little dots on the map, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go here. And then I'll go here, and they were talking about some Midgar, whatever, and then I walk into the dirt and get attacked by a giant snake, and thankfully don't die and lose 20 minutes of my save, because the snake did a certain attack that just kicked me out of the fire.
Yep.
But the only point where I got lost was basically I went to the right place, but I didn't go to the right part of it because there was quite a few screens in my area. So that was the only bit where I actually got stuck, but I had the right idea. And yeah, most of the time you're getting told where to go, or you just kind of figure out where you can go, because you're sort of restricted. Like once you get out of Midgar, where it's quite linear, you've got you first got to go get a chocobo, then you get a car, then you get a little, it's not really a seaplane, but like you treat it like one.
Yeah.
And then those disappear later in the game when you get the highway, and you don't get those back, and you're like, dang it. But yeah, my main first impression was, if you want a game where you don't know what's going to happen next, it's this game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even just the start of the game, they're talking about a stink in the building, and then I climb through the toilet, the vent above a toilet to spy in on a meeting. I'm going through all of that. I'm finally like getting out of there, and then and we're getting in the elevator, and then suddenly I'm getting attacked by this giant tank with guns in another elevator, and it shoots through the glass and then starts attacking me. And I'm like, what? I was just being like blown away almost every second there. There's a lot of, before you like really leave, you finally like get to the top and do something, and then suddenly there's just a giant trail of blood everywhere. Because Genova's headless body is gone, and you're just like, jeez, it's so creepy, and just big red smear just trailing through the building. And I'm just like, what? And then that turns into a bike sequence.
Yeah, that's pretty
And then
awesome.
that ends with a fight at the end of the bridge, and you're like, oh, geez, I hope I survive that too. And then a bit later, once I'm just, freely exploring Midgar is like the name of the actual that part of the continent too, which was like throwing me off a bit. But like once you're out of the city, when I went to like the first actual city, I just walked to the beach casually just because I'm just looking around, and suddenly there's a little girl with a pet dolphin. Then they get attacked by a monster that like killed itself on me, which confused me. But apparently, it like does the attack as it dies, so it doesn't let you know you've actually to try and kill you, but it didn't.
On his
But
way
then
out,
I had to. And then I had to give her CPR improperly while her father argued with me about it. Like, they're like, oh, you need to do it. It's like, why are you talking? Just start doing it. Like, you're wasting time. And then that was the bit where it's like trying to figure out. That's my other little flaw with, I guess, the Switch version sometimes, and it could be, translation as well. And older games cannot be great. Sometimes the controls, like what it's telling me to press, and then like that's not right. Especially that CPR game. That took me a while to even figure out how to do it. There's another bit where it's like the menuing itself, like throughout the whole game, I did not use any of the other levels of Limit Break because I just didn't touch that option in the menu at all. And it took me a bit to figure out where the exchange thing was for materia, because you got to like go to a certain spot and then like press left on the D-pad, which is like not a visible option, and then it'll give you more options. So like little things like that where it's a bit like, oh geez, what? And yeah, there's so many just funny. I mean, the enemy designs in this game are crazy. That's another thing. Like especially in the Shinra building, there's like these fish that are like big, I don't know, almost like accordion saw-like. How they look, they just look so weird. Like there's so many. And I know I've seen it before, but like later on, there's like the dinosaur with the tank bottom half, or there's a boat where like you normally have that mermaid decor, but instead of a mermaid, it's just like a skeleton, but he's like centaured on the boat and he's rowing it.
Yeah.
There's this one guy who, yeah, that's funny because that's just like a random enemy that I had to fight like 5 times, but like I think in Remake they make it just like a whole proper boss fight, but whereas I was just like running into every 5 seconds. This honestly, it wasn't, except for like a couple instances, I didn't really see any classic Final Fantasy enemies until the final dungeon. But they're really, really crazy design choice. Like, there was one thing that I didn't even realize was a Matryoshka because I was normally killing it straight away, and then one time I didn't, and that just started popping out, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell? It was just so weird. And like, I like
it's definitely a much different vibe than the earlier ones, right? Like, I guess 6 has quite a bit of steampunk and things going in it, but yeah, 7 really sort of like, if it wasn't called Final Fantasy, like I wouldn't necessarily have been like, oh yeah, this is totally a Final Fantasy game, like that. It could really be almost anything.
Typically, when you're like playing these long-running RPG series, they use the same enemies like all the time, and this has like so many unique ones. It's crazy. They do have like some other elements that are in with the series, like the summons, but like there's so just many. I guess because like some of them are the different robots and things by Shinra, and just I do like that they put the effort into it though. That's very, very much appreciated that they did create such a big bestiary.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where it was like the dawn of such a new era of like, so they switched from Nintendo to Sony. They went from cartridge to CD-ROM, and then it's the first 3D game, and yeah, so there was like it was such a I could see Sakaguchi maybe thinking like, okay, this is like a fresh start. We can kind of do whatever we want here, and yeah, he just went hog wild, and
they created the best game of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see why there's some people who liked this game and then maybe didn't vibe with some of the other Final Fantasies. Obviously, I haven't played like the immediate follow-up ones, but I can kind of see just how good this is and how different it is. I could see how that's a bit of a barrier where they're kind of like, yeah, I just like this one specifically.
Yeah, 8, 8, 9 are quite a bit different from 7, really. Like it, well, even like to going from 7 to 8. Again, you if you didn't know what the titles of the games were, you wouldn't necessarily think they were they were related because they're just so much different.
Associated at all.
Yeah.
I think my only other minor complaint, which would have helped me with, I guess, the menuing, was there's the tutorial rooms, but when you talk to them, they do that handholdy thing where they're like making you like click through each option on the menu and do the exact thing, and it's like, oh, couldn't you just give me a box of text, man? So I didn't bother talking to any of those guys because I was like, ugh, no thanks. But
Did you get your Knights of the Round summoned and
no,
watch a 5-minute cutscene?
No, well, one thing, I've got the 3 times speed, so so I beat the game in 30 hours. I did some optional content, like which you don't even really know is optional because, like Yuffie and Vincent are optional, although you kind of, I don't know, you have to be very uninquisitive to, or I guess get mad at the safe to not get Vincent, honestly, because you sort of see it in the background. That's the other thing. Nibelheim is creepy as hell. When you go back to it after the flashbacks, and like the music's weird, and you're talking to everyone, and they're telling you off and saying that like, no, it didn't burn down 5 years ago. You're horrible. How could you say that? And there's this weird. I was calling them like garbage bag guys, but apparently they're in cloaks. But they just look like
it's the trashmen,
and they're being like reunion and yeah, it's super creepy. Oh, that was the other one I was forgetting. One of the enemies in the Nibelheim mansion is like this guy who I think is just like torso and hair, like, upper half of the body, and he's on like from the chain from the ceilings, like scythe, but he almost never does any damage. Like he maybe gets a 1 hit in the entire fight because like apparently every time you attack him, he has like a whatever chance of falling down, so he just keeps falling down and like spending ages to get back up. And that I thought it was just so funny that it's just like this guy who's just a total jobber. I mean, aside from like Elena, who's the biggest jobber in this game, but yeah, that's it. I heard about Final Fantasy VII having like these mini games and that, and honestly, you only have to win a couple of them. Like the squats, you have to do. You have to win
squats.
Chocobo Racing at one point. Which I got on my second try. I'm going to blame my toddler for not getting it the first try because she distracted me, but it was like the second try, the 2 guys got really far ahead of me, so I wasted all my energy on boosting, and then I spent literally half the race like completely out of energy, slumped down, and I still managed to win. They didn't catch up to me until the last second. There's a lot of fun, like
the snowboarding one, right?
Yeah, well, you don't have to do good at that. Oh, that took me like at least 5 minutes or more. It was like I just kept biting snow, I guess, every like 5 seconds. That wasn't fun. I didn't like that. But like, yeah, you don't have to avoid taking damage in that one. There's a lot of like gameplay segments. For example, there's the bit early on with the barrels with the Aerith where you're trying to like help her to not get like beat up, and then like thankfully she could handle herself in a fight because I managed to pick the wrong barrel every single time. And I
going hard mode.
There was one minigame part where I was really worried about it because like I said, I wasn't looking much stuff up, but then there was a bit where I guess when things ramp up in games where it's sort of building up to the climax, I get a bit impatient and I might look at like the headlines on a walkthrough to be like, okay, I have approximately this many segments left. And there's something about submarine, and I'm like, oh no. That wasn't even that hard. I actually got stuck in a wall for ages, and I still won it within 2 minutes. I guess because when I first started, I was just like blasting it. And then when I finally caught up to it, and I'm like, oh, it's getting away. And then I did like 2 shots, and it was down. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Had to make it dramatic, for the crowd.
Yeah. And, I've been, I guess, watching some, now that I've actually played the game myself, I've been watching some content and being like, oh, I didn't know some of this stuff was like, there is a fail state for like if you, there's a bit where, there's a bit where there's timers. And there's one where you're like trying to stop a train. And apparently you can like fail that and then that will have an impact. Like a little impact. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That, even with all this, they do have like, there are some minor things that change. And that's like, it might be a while before I replay this, but I can definitely, like, having played through it, I can see, what I'd like to do different. Like, I'd probably do more of the optional stuff because there's chocobo breeding and I didn't touch that at all. I just, because by the point, that's like the point of the game, I was just like, yes, let's do this. I'm ready to, I'm ready to deal with somebody. I've got,
Yeah, I want to get a move on with it.
I want to beat somebody up right now.
The world ain't gonna save itself.
Exactly. I did a little bit of exploration because I sort of, when I went to like the final area, I was kind of like, oh, these guys are beating me up real bad. But then anything else I could fight was too easy. So I did go back to Nibelheim like a second time and walk into the proper room. So I got some extra cutscenes with Zack, which I really liked that I got that. And then, like I said, I did do some optional stuff because you get Yuffie and if you go to like Wutai without her, apparently, like I don't even know what you were doing there because none of the stuff would happen. That was the hardest part of the game actually, because I had Yuffie in my party once we got Sid and we're on the plane, and she's like, "Oh, let's go west for no reason at all." And I'm like, "Okay." And then we went to her town, and she steals all my materia.
Yeah, it sounds like Yuffie.
And that was the hardest part of the game, not having material for ages. I was just like, oh, jeez, man.
Yeah, she's a troublemaker.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I like her, but like, oh man, so mad at her. And that's, well, I should talk about the gameplay systems. First of all, this is the first time I think I don't know, maybe one of the Riser games, but like, for the most part, it's the first time I really played an active time battle system. And I didn't actually find, I was really worried about it. I just kept it on whatever the default settings were, and like, oh, it wasn't that bad. There's only like, maybe a few times I got caught up because like some bosses would have like a few more attacks or whatever, they'd sort of just do a few in a row, like they'd build up or something. But it was totally fine. It worked good. It would be great because they'd be like, I'd almost sort of queue up something, and then they'd do an attack, and then I'd have a heal just already immediately on them. What's interesting is that a few, but not a lot of the bosses have, you got to sort of pay attention to what you're doing. Like the first one, it's like, oh, when his tail's up, don't attack, because you'll get hit with a counter attack, and then that mostly doesn't happen. So then I had one boss that just like, I got a game over where only one of my characters was dead because Reno pops out this like mechanical robot or something with grabby hands, and so like if one of you's dead and he grabs you with the other two hands, that's a game over.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I forget what it was you basically had to do, but it was like, I think you had to just ignore the hand. There's things like that where I didn't immediately pick up on it, where you've got to ignore a certain thing and then you just completely avoid the attack, thankfully. So they could have probably done that like a little bit more, because I think I was getting caught out because it didn't happen all the time. So I'm just like, honestly, the encounter rate isn't as high as like when it comes to like a lot of these old games. I like, I don't know, because like there could be like balance changes to ports and stuff too, but they'll be like, oh, random encounters is so much, and then I'm trying to instigate battles because I need money or whatever, and like I'm just waiting forever, and I'm running in a circle waiting for one to pop off, and then and then 2 steps later another one will come get me.
Did this port have control over the random counters? Like, was that one of the?
I think if you like click on the sticks, you get certain different things. I think you can make no random encounters, but I didn't have. I just, like I said, the encounter rate was so low, I never turned that on. Like the only thing I used was the 3 times speed once I like was used to the battle system, and only turned it off for like boss fights and things like that.
Yeah. I think it also had like there was an option to have your health restored after fights or something too.
Well, I just didn't have those on, but yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
I think there's one where it's like you just have instant limit breaks all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
it's like a built-in Draki mode.
yeah, there's actually no, there's more hard parts of the game I've got to complain about. Trying to break out of Aerith's house.
Oh
That
yeah.
was horrible. I thought it
Yeah.
was like just a specific. First of all, because I had to use the D-pad because like on the Switch you're running by default with the stick, and even that barely helped me when I looked that up. And then like, because I'm like, okay, it's just a specific path. Like, nope, nope, nope. It felt like that took me. I don't even know how long. That
It's
was
funny
awful.
because when I replayed Remake not that long ago, I think I failed like 4 times in a row in the same in the Remake version. So it's no better, and they actually have obstacles
Yeah,
in
I
the
think I
Remake
was
version
like
where
reading the comments of some video, and they're obviously talking about remakes. Like, oh, why does she have so many barrels and stuff in her room? And I'm like, okay, they didn't have barrels in the original version, but um, and the other thing was that dang safe to get Vincent. It's like I went back to the mansion and I read the instructions and I figured all that myself. The stepping thing was kind of hard again, just because like the step count wasn't quite right. But the hardest part was the bit where you have to input the numbers and you have to not go over the numbers. And also, you've only got 20 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's not like an instant fail. You never get it again. Unlike what Sid did to me, because there's a bit where you're in a rocket and he's giving you a code, but he kept giving me the same hints, and I didn't get the fresh last hint that I needed until 2 seconds were left. And I was like, okay, I don't care. I looked up what you got for, and it was like another Bahamut, and I'm like, I already got 2. I don't care. I've got a
Sid was
save
going to
point
be
before
pissed
then
at you
if I
no matter
care,
what,
but
though. So
yeah, I'm pissed at him. That's what I am. But yeah, so summons I really like. My favorite one actually at the start was, or partway through the game, was Odin, because he did really good damage. But then further on into the game, he was doing like 3k damage, and I'm like, I can do that myself. It's like it's not very helpful at all. My favorite one is actually one I'd only got because I looked up a couple things, and then they're like, oh, go into this abandoned plane, and then I've picked up, for a different reason, but I picked up the materia and I got Hades. And he's awesome. He was super helpful for me in the last dungeon because there was a couple enemies, like a black dragon had Ultima, and maybe a couple other ones where I was not prepared for the amount of damage that was getting dealt with me. So I would, and I guess I'd put it on the Master Tombearer too. Hades would just put several status ailments on them. So they would be like poisoned, they would be like slowed, and then in a few turns they would like be completely stopped for a little while. I did see at one point he turned a behemoth into a frog. I never, so I guess they're more susceptible to frog because like I'd never seen him turn anybody else into a frog. So I didn't get like all the summons. I looked at a video and I think I got maybe half of them because like again I was
Knights of the Round.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work to get to.
Yeah.
I was
and
say
it's not even worth it.
She didn't do any of the chocobo breeding, so she didn't get that one. But
yeah.
Unless you want like a 25-minute summons.
No, I didn't want to look too much up because like I felt like I didn't need to really. Obviously,
No, it's pretty self-explanatory
stuff or whatever, or like if I want to do all the battles and get all the things, but I'm like, I don't need to. No one's ever said this is a hard game, and it's not. Like,
no, just the best.
I ended up creaming Sephiroth really, really easy. I didn't even have time to try and see if Hades would work on him. I think I fought Ultimate Weapon afterwards, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't work on bosses, but because I was just like, I did the final dungeon the second time, and I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to put the save point at the bit before the point of no return, because I know you can actually leave the whole area now. And I was going up and down just trying to I found like the magic pot guys, because basically the materia system, which I really like. So it's basically the materia is you pop it in and you get different moves. So basically anyone can be anything. I think they technically have better stats equipped for certain things, but I can make whoever my healer if I want to, really. And I can make them whatever. At the end point of the, because the materia, especially anyone that aren't yellow materia, basically they will reduce your HP or want some other stat by like a fair bit. And I realized that I can in fact not have 2 summons sitting on Cloud, because then he has negative 20% HP. Yeah. So, and I realized, I don't need 3 different types of magic on somebody, because the enemies I was fighting, I only really need the like bolt, I think, because no one else had a particular status ailment. But yeah, I really loved the materia system because got that level of customization, and then even certain accessories. I was like got into a couple of fights and I had like water absorption and stuff, and they were just doing their big attack on somebody, and it was either doing nothing or it was healing them, and I thought that was really funny. So yeah, I'm getting confused because like when you're trying to look stuff up about something that's changed in an online game, it's not showing you. Like I remember there was materia in Final Fantasy 14. I don't think it wasn't doing anything as crazy as that, but I think they got rid of that. But yeah, I really like materia. There's some really cool ones. Like I got a W item that lets you use 2 items, so like I can heal. So I had like my party that I went endgame with, besides like there's points in the story where it changes around. But endgame, I had Yuffie and Vincent on my party. What? What?
Where's Tifa?
What? She's okay, but like, I mean, I saw one.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah. She's got a couple of nice qualities to her, but
she's got some great assets.
but I was like, well, they're the optional guys, so I wanted to have them on my team. And then once if you got one of her limit breaks that like heals and like cures status ailments, I'm like, all right, okay, we're gonna make you the healer instead of Vincent, because Vincent's limit break means you can't get out of it until the battle's over, so it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to like level up the materia and switch it around.
Yes.
And like you said, have that ability to really not be hampered by switching a character.
Yeah, so well, that's like you just like go into the menu and then like just shovel the marbles over to somebody else and play around with it. And I did get enemy skill, which was helpful because like I put it, I'm like, oh, that sounds useful. And then yeah, I did follow a little bit of help, because there's like there's a couple where people are like, this makes the game easy mode. Like there's a particular enemy that I hadn't even seen before, so I had to go find where he was and use a manip materia to make him cast the move on me, and then everyone got big guard, and that probably helped me with like the end of the game. But so that basically, if an enemy doesn't attack on you, you learn that move, and then that stays to that particular materia, so you can swap that around. And yeah, you can do weird stuff like that, like use the manip and then get them to actually do it, because you're like, I want that move. And one of the other, speaking of just like weird stuff happening all the time, I got out onto the plains, and then like I got attacked by these mole squirrels that did a move called L4 Suicide, and suddenly there's like trail of like, it looks like a dynamite line coming up towards me, and it shrinks 2 of my guys and makes them like mini and nearly dead. And I'm like,
that's so annoying.
I was glad it didn't instant kill me because of the name. I was just like, what? And I didn't have to worry about that until the final dungeon where some guys were doing it. I'm like, but I was like, okay, and that came in clutch actually when I went back to do Yuffie's optional content, because there was a couple of the I guess the only other part I found kind of hard was some of the solo fights. And yeah, so a couple of the enemies for Yuffie, they are actually susceptible to the L4 Suicide. And I'm like, oh, I already have, that was the first thing I got in the game. So that was handy. But like I said, I was mostly just doing stuff on my own and finding useful things myself and experimenting with it. But yeah, when I got to the end of the game, I was like, oh, I need to actually like, I don't need so many damage things. And then I was like looking through, I'm like, oh, HP plus, ooh. And then I went to the shop and like, because I could leave, and I went to a shop and like put them on everyone, and it was really annoying me. So I ended up the game at like level 70s because I was just trying to level up the HP and MP plus on everyone, and Cloud's went to max, but Yuffie's and Vincent's didn't level up at all. And so I'm like going up and down, and I found like there's these magic pot guys that apparently give you like a lot of the AP, which is what levels up the materia. And but in order to beat them, I need the elixirs, but I can steal them from the ton. Like that was like one things like I looked up, and then like I could steal them from the ton barriers. So like go where they are, beat them up and steal their stuff, and then go back. And I was trying to so I ended up like being 20 levels higher than what I'd entered in there. And yeah, Sephiroth was very easy, basically. It was like, oh, it was a little bit disappointing because I went in and like I got to, when I first tried it, I got to like the few fights you've got to do before you get to him, and I died to like this big blue guy, and I was like, dang. And then I changed my material around, so I actually had some HP, picked up a certain couple of extra skills, and then when I was just thoroughly exploring the dungeon stuff, I got a bit over leveled, and I guess over leveling does mostly work in this game, but as long as your materia setup isn't nerfing your health.
Yeah, it doesn't level with you like 8 does.
Yeah, that was something I think my husband was telling me. I was like, yeah, you can't do that, and you make it worse.
But some people like that. They want to go in there and feel overpowered and just roll the end boss,
Well, that's what why some people play RPGs, is to mess with stuff. Well, it went off my mind. I was thinking something to do with that, but I don't know.
So was
like
your
the music
final
in
party Cloud, Vincent, and Yuffie to beat the game?
Yeah. And it ended up, while I was doing that, I was like, oh, I'll get there. Except for Cloud's weapon, I didn't get his until after I beat the game. I'll get Yuffie and Vincent's weapon, and I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean Yuffie's weapon is in this place I've already been? I'm like, what? Oh, that's a door.
I hate when that happens. It's like, oh, I didn't realize the flat static background. There's an actual little door in that corner or something stupid.
Like, at least in Yuffie's house, it's more obvious. Like, there's this cute ninja, like extra rooms, and like you can see it because you can see like a 3D object, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go here. But no, that was just flat.
That happened to me when I was playing Mina the Hollower. I was like, yo, I cannot figure out where to go, and then I eventually had to look up a YouTube video, and I'm like, oh, that room that it did everything in, there's actually just a door in the corner that just didn't look like a door, and I was like, so stupid.
So what
Where's my yellow paint,
David?
Yeah. Oh, I just the final boss theme is pretty banger.
Yeah, that's like a classic. Obviously, I've heard that before. I really like the music in this game, especially like the atmospheric music. Like, they're really good with just background music of certain areas. Like I said, Nibelheim was really creepy. I don't really know the names of a lot of the songs, but I was listening to Genova a lot after I beat the game. I really like that battle theme. I'm sort of like, I've heard the Final Fantasy battle theme a lot because obviously people are using it all the time. But like, even though I've heard it a lot, I didn't get sick of it. I just obviously didn't appreciate it as much because I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard that, all the time. I would say
a lot of trademark spot, like the Shinra building music is pretty iconic, and then the Junon, I guess it is, like the military music is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, like I totally flubbed that march, and
the parade
matter. Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah. Like, I could still play the game. I mean, I feel bad, but I'm playing with slightly different controls, so that makes a difference too. Dang
Joy-Con lag.
The game's not. Yeah, the game's not funny all the time, but then there's some moments where it's like, oh, that's good. I like that. Especially I was like taking screenshots early on, and there's some like really good bits. Like, there's a bit where you're at Don Cornero's, I think, and you're in his bedroom, and they're going blah 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 blah, and then Cloud puts his foot on the bed and he says, "I'll chop it off." And then blah, 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 blah. Aerith puts one foot on the bed and says, I'll rip it off. And then blah, 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 blah. And Tifa puts her foot on the bed and goes, I'll smash it. And it's just like, damn.
Yep.
And I do know that they reuse those lines, but like I think it's in a different, like that's not in a bedroom. But like
some guys pay for that.
One of my other, aside from like being able to say mean things to Aerith and then her not finding them very funny, there was a really funny one where there's a bit in the game and you're just Sid as the leader.
Oh yeah, yep.
And then I talked to him after he's not the leader anymore, and he says, I know how tough it is being a leader because I've been one. I always forget who has what materia. And I'm just like, duh.
Sid's the goat, dude.
Yeah,
did you there's that one section where you can either take the elevator or you can just run up like stairs after stairs
back
after
up
stairs.
The Shinra building, yeah.
Yeah, I took the stairs because there's a pretty iconic line that I wanted to see.
She had to see it.
Yeah.
Barrett was being something.
I don't know how it is in the original, but I know like that in like remake, the elevator actually longer because you get into fights. It actually takes more time, even though there is a lot of stairs. Like I
feel like I always take the stairs.
I'm glad I got a little card of it in this pack because it's like
you definitely it's to the point where you're like, okay, we must be getting close, and I'm like, how are these stairs still going?
You really feel like the characters in the game.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the stairs in Don Quixote.
They reward you for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that the Shinra building, there's bits where I had to like look at what I was doing, or like the stealth bit took me a bit, but it's like thankfully I never had to do another one of those again, so it's like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I hate stealth crap.
There's so many funny things like the second limit break I got from Sid, and because in this version, he's got his cigarettes, where this is pre the Japanese rating board changes, So he's got the cigarette. He grabs a thing of dynamite and lights it with his lit cigarette, and then just throws it, and that's his limit break.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And I'm like,
dude, they made Sid soft in the remakes.
Yeah, he's swearing all the time. Oh my god, he's so mean to Shara. It's like, what?
He's so angry.
Yeah, he's
that man wanted to go to space so bad.
That extremely old man of 36.
I know, yeah, the rugged old guy, and he's like a young dude or younger. He ain't David levels of old yet.
No.
Yeah, I know some of that's like can be a bit of like translations weren't always the most accurate. Like they like to make a character swear in the English versions when they weren't necessarily swearing in the Japanese. So I don't know if he was quite as, what do you call those? There's a word for like like when you draw expletives with like the hashtag and the at and like other random symbols to like.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know
they didn't use the symbols
in
this one, but like there's a word for that. Like I don't know if he uses many in the original script, because I know now that I've like the way Twitter goes with like you like something and it's just shoving it into your face now. I'm getting a lot of people talking about translation issues with certain lines and stuff. And then I'm like, I don't really I don't know, I feel like I picked up on that, but whatever. One of the other highlights was that I nearly missed out on, because I'm like, I'm like playing the game in 3 times speed. But there's a boss fight with a guy, and he just like turns around and would slap his butt during the fight. and then like the plane starts moving, and I think someone's piloting it, so he like dodges it, and he runs away, and then gets hit by a truck. And then that ends the battle. And I didn't find out for sure he was actually, apparently nobody was piloting the plane, but I think maybe Cheryl was driving the truck. But like it was just like, what the hell? That's great, honestly.
Also, like in the against the Turks, Rude won't hit Tifa.
Oh, well, I didn't have her in my party, so I didn't know that. That would be really cool to see.
He'll attack anyone else unless if she's the only one. And then I think he will attack her eventually, but yeah, it's like programmed to at the very last resort, I should say.
There's a really funny bit. I think Aerith had like something with a weapon would like apply a stop to people, and I didn't realize. So there's a bit where Rude is running, saying that he's leaving, like they're running away, but like he was stopped, and I didn't know what the stop effect was, so I thought it was glitched, and I'm still dealing damage to him after he said he'd run away. And then eventually that wore off and he ran away, but that was really funny to see.
It is great how like they really like I love the Turks, you know, even though they're like your
I love
enemy.
them. I love that.
They do such a good job.
Like I said, I watched I Have Children ages ago, so I sort of like, you know, I have a soft spot for Reno, even though he doesn't look very good in this game, I tell you. But I love them. They're really funny. Especially like when you go to Wutai and they're like, we've got to fight them, and it's like, what are we doing? We're on vacation. We're like, yeah, sit down. It's like, okay. So that there's a bit towards the end of the game where like you have the option to fight them, and I was just like, nah, we're cool.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt you boys.
Yeah, I didn't really want to do it. But then like I'm like, well, if I do play it again, I might want to fight them to see if I get anything out of it, you know. But I was just like, nah, we're cool. There's one character I don't like. I don't know if you can guess who it is.
Like
party member
of an enemy or of a
party member,
a playable character.
Playable character.
Don't like a playable character, huh?
Cat Sith?
Yeah.
He's the most confusing.
Or however you pronounce it, because he forces himself into my party after spoiling the game, because he like does a fortune telling, and he's like, you're going to get what you want, but you're going to lose something you love. And I'm like, whoa, okay, God. That's like,
you stop that.
And then there's the whole thing with him being like a spy, and then being like, okay, but don't tell anyone. And I'm like, I don't like you. And even then, when he tries to do something as himself, he just gets like bitch slapped into the ground, and it's like, yeah.
I've seen builds people online like
them. Like even in Remake and Rebirth. Like
I had to for a certain
not to,
but
yeah. I feel like I've seen videos of people like really abusing the game mechanics with Cait Sith and like just doing ungodly damage.
Well, like him and Tifa have some like gambling elements to their systems, I think.
Yeah, especially Cait Sith. Yeah, like you could definitely But I always usually use Cloud, Tifa, and then it's like, oh man, like the third one's like you know, I like Barrett, I like Sid in there, but I never really used the optional characters. In the remakes I used Yuffie a bit, but yeah, you can't take Tifa out, and then it's like that's the one bad thing about this game. There's so many characters that are great, and you can't use them all.
I mean, that's the case with like most JRPGs where they've got a large cast, and you're gonna be like, all right, who do I like the most? And then they're gone, and then you've got somebody who's 10 levels under you, and you're like, ah. Like when Yuffie stole from me and I had Barrett, and I'm like, Barrett, stay alive, please.
I like Barrett in the remakes, like having that ranged attack is fun.
I do like some of the weapons he gets too. Although there's one point where I got Yuffie a pinwheel, and she was just whacking people with a pinwheel. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, there's a lot of like, because I played it just semi only looking things up here and there when I got a bit stuck in it. You know, one of them was like, why is the safe so hard? And then that didn't help me at all, but I got it first try after looking that up. So after it confirmed to me that it is hard and other people struggle with it, then I did.
And you're like, no, it wasn't.
Like I didn't know until I was like watching some videos about this game after beating it, like there's a whole affection system. I didn't know that. I guess even in the original you can go on the Gold Saucer date with someone else, because the way it happened for me was just that like Aerith popped out and she's like, let's go on a date, because like I owe her a date. So I didn't know there was stuff you could do to make that different.
Yeah, well, you can even manipulate it so you end up. I'm pretty sure you can go with Barrett.
Yeah, but apparently
It-
that's like you really got to like probably look up what you're doing to do that. But
Yeah, it's very. It takes a lot of work to get that one.
so because the way the cutscene progressed, I had no idea that was the thing. And there was a one scene that people were debating, I guess, shortly before I got to it, where apparently there's some implied activity between Tifa and Cloud. Apparently there's slightly different dialogue based on your affection points, and I think I got the higher affection points with her. I'm not sure how, but like, because there's a bit where she says there's more ways to, like, you know, something along the lines of like you can express your feelings with like more than just words. And I just took that as like, oh, you know, our actions together as a party, helping each other out, stuff, not like coming onto him, you know. And you know, it fades to black, and then she wakes up on his shoulder, and I'm like, oh, you know, like I didn't.
What the heck?
I didn't assume that anything happened then, because like, why would you have intimate relations and then like sleep on each other's shoulders and not like lying down or something, you know? But apparently, even though like I didn't interpret that as being what they did, the original version of that scene before it got like changed pre-release was they were going to come out of the Chocobo stables. So, so I guess they
Were all
did.
the
And
breedings
I was just too naive to pick up on it. So I mean, they managed to like put it in without
Your pure innocent heart, Paige.
yes, my innocent heart.
She might be sassy, but she's innocent.
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of this YouTube channel called Last Elixir Productions. Their newest video is crazy with the editing because it's about like the mouths and that, which apparently aren't in the PS1 version. Like, oh, you got to watch that one though, because it's just the amount of effort into the editing for that particular video was insane. And they do a lot of like looking into like pre-release stuff, and like the things are called like a maps, and so it's like you're following the development history by going like, oh, map number this or whatever. It's really cool. And it's been fun to like, you know, now that I have beaten it, I can sort of like look up all this extra stuff and like get some more context, because there is, I guess, the, you know, like the bit I was getting a bit confused on was the when was something Genova and when was something Sephiroth bit, because I was just, yeah, that's just Sephiroth, until you find him and then he's like a torso and you're like, oh, okay. And
Yeah,
there's actually,
there's a
there's
lot
still debate
confusing.
about that actually. I think they've gone now with like the stuff that came out afterwards that it is mostly Sephiroth doing that, but like originally, like I think there's like a lot of debate whether it's like Genova itself, because Genova's like the Antichrist basically. From what I see,
Yeah, more
and
or
I guess
less.
that's what, yeah, well, Sephiroth's got like snake eyes and stuff. And like for a second, because when I was thinking that last week, I was like, oh, but there's no Christ. I'm like, oh, yes, there is. Aerith died for our sins.
Yeah.
there is a Jesus in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, and like I'm watching these videos about it, and like, oh, apparently like the things you fight were meant to be like different body parts of Genova, and like they just kind of look like weird, like they don't really look like that in the final game. But like originally it was going to be like you fight a knee and stuff. I'm just like, what? But it's fun to find out more about it. Especially
So
because like
now you're hooked on
Yeah.
the universe.
yeah.
So when you playing Dirge of Cerberus,
I'll have to see if my PS2 works. I'm kind of hoping that they remake it, to be honest, you know.
Well, you got
But, like,
Crisis Core.
They did it for Crisis Core, exactly.
Yeah, Crisis Core is that remake of Crisis Core was pretty good.
I do like that they didn't remaster the cutscenes though.
Yeah, they weren't putting that much work into it, so that makes sense.
Not for that one.
Yeah. Actually, it's really funny on the eShop right now. It's got a big sale, and like Crisis Core Remastered costs more than remake, even though on the Switch remake didn't come out till this year.
Yeah.
That's just really weird.
Well, it's funny. I didn't really like Zach as much, but when I played Crisis Core, then it's like, oh, okay, he's all right. He's
now
he's
you
not
get
bad.
his actual personality. You're
Yeah,
not just like, he's this guy. It's not me. Ooh.
yeah,
And it was nice to play, and like I said, there's a couple things I knew, but there's a lot of there's so many of those little things that I've talked about, like the funny bits in boss fights and other things where I didn't. The only weird enemy design I knew was the dinosaur tank. Um, I, I knew it was really funny. I knew that Vincent gets like cucked, but I didn't actually know that it was that was
Canon.
what made Sephiroth. I didn't realize that was the kid she had. I knew that part, but not the other part. And then I was getting really confused because, well, I mean, part of it is like Cloud's confused, and he has like a whole crisis and stuff. But like, there's nothing that I played in the actual game that told me Vincent was asleep for 20 years, because he's talking like Sephiroth's only 5 years old, and I'm like, if I didn't know about Crisis Core, I'd almost think that was possible. But then I'm like, no, because Zach's parents say that it's like, well, no, like parents say 10 years. Aerith says 5 years since she's talked to Zach. So I'm like, well, that can't be right, because then he'd be 0 years old and not be, do all this other stuff. That's okay. And apparently he'd be 25, because Vincent was asleep for about 20 years, but nothing in the game I played showed me that. And like, there's another bit where Sephiroth or whoever's trying to manipulate Cloud, and that's making him seem like he's 5 years old. And I'm like, what? I'm like, nope, he is an actual person. But like,
yeah, it's definitely confusing with some of the story stuff to try and keep it all straight. Especially
I think
with
Crisis
like
Core fills in a lot.
Yeah, well,
unreliable narrator.
More of the background
situation.
stuff anyway, because like the Cloud stuff sort of sorts itself out eventually. But the stuff in regards to like Sephiroth and Vincent and like that's more like other games and spin-offs and stuff, where you've got to actually get context. But there's a couple of points where I thought, why is everyone 5 years old? Like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah. So I can't remember. Have you played through all of Remake and Rebirth?
No, I haven't played any of it, because I was waiting for like the whole thing to be out. And well, actually, okay. I had this idea because they released the mobile thing Ever Crisis, where it's like basically they're using the remake stuff. They're making it sort of not really like the original game, but like they've got the smaller models but like done up, and then in the battle it looks like Remake, and it's sort of like a play on how things look in this game, where the in-battle models are much bigger and show off more than the in-world models. But now that I've played the original game, I think Ever Crisis looks ugly as hell.
Well,
never mind that it's a bad like a gacha game, and I tried to play it for like, because there was a Dragon Quest crossover, and I liked Aerith in the Sage outfit, but like I don't think it looks good now.
It's funny you say that, because I just saw recently there was I saw these mods for the Final Fantasy VII on Steam, where they replace the character models with like that. It looks kind of like the Ever Crisis one, but they look like they're remake versions or whatever. But when you look at it, you're like, nah, it's not as fun without the OG models. Like,
yeah, like
when you make them too detailed, it just I don't know. It's just
they made these blind weird box figures of the low polygon models, and I've got a few of them. So they've been sitting on my desk for ages before I've like actually gone around to playing this game. So I'm quite endeared to this style now. I saw a video today, and I'm like, he modded the game, and like there's a textures over like the original character models, and it's so ugly. And I'm like, how do you think that looks better? I hate it so much. I want to throw it's so bad.
Yeah, like, what have you done?
Yeah, but I like the little blocky people. It's good.
Well, it'll be interesting now to see when you do play Remake and Rebirth, like to see the changes. Like when you have it fresh in your mind, it's going to be different.
Yeah, because it's quite
experience.
And I know
wait till
that
you get to Calm.
The start of Rebirth, man.
Oh, okay.
So good.
When part of me is like now kind of resistant to wanting to play Remake, because I'm like, Well, first of all,
The OG was so good.
Yeah, it was good,
Yeah.
really good, and I really, really like the pre-rendered backgrounds. Some of them are, even though they're not super high res, they are stunning. They are awesome, and I'm like, I don't know
Well,
if
that
like the fancy new graphics really can even translate that kind of vibe. Like,
it
I might have to
does.
send, I might have to send
Yeah.
you guys a few screenshots though, because there's some where I'm like, I have a feeling that's not going to look the way, like, it's not going to give me the
It's
same
just
feeling.
it's
Um,
different. So obviously, I highly recommend you play those, and I would say even like I would be like, go buy that one on Switch 2, the first one on Switch 2 on sale right now. But it's one of those things where it's like they do an awesome job of turning like those iconic backgrounds and locations to like really amazing, right? Like the first game remake is obviously all in Midgar, which they just expand out everything. And how I sort of said with Calm, it's like when you start Rebirth, you go to these cities or these towns where it's like, yeah, maybe it was like 2 static screens on the original, and now it's like a fully fleshed out living environment that you can explore and go into all the nooks and crannies. It's amazing. Yeah, you should definitely play remake. I would say as soon as possible. But obviously, if you want to take a little breather in between, it wouldn't be bad. But I think it would be
well,
interesting
I
to have
did.
just beaten the original and then go see how
Well,
different things
I
are. But
know
yeah,
the remake trilogy is. It's not really, or it's a sequel in the same vein as like the Evangelion movies and that Scott Pilgrim Netflix cartoon, where it makes you think like it's a remake, and then there's like some shenanigans, and it's like actually it's a sequel, and you're better off having played
yeah,
the
Yeah.
original.
I think it
Remake more
doesn't
than Rebirth, I would say. Like I feel like they toned that down a bit in Rebirth. Like there's obviously
Although I also hear there's a character I might not like in and that summon material is harder to get
look. Sid's not
in
bad in the new ones. He's just not a hard ass anymore.
oh no,
somebody else
you're.
starting with the letter C.
I was gonna say you probably don't like Chadley's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
Is that
I've
who we're
heard
talking about?
otherwise, but yeah.
Well, Chadley's not like Chadley's just well,
I like
Also,
Chadley.
apparently, Fort Condor is now a completely different game.
yes, that's
Probably
true.
isn't a bad
Yeah.
thing, but
Chadley's just like an NPC though. Like you just see Chadley now and then, like
He
in
hangs
certain
out.
areas and stuff.
Yeah, he like hangs out in the towns, and you could do like simulations and things through him, and like research,
Yeah.
which is essentially like going and playing the game and then getting rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
how
don't
you
know.
get your summons is through Chadley. Like you have
I don't
like
like
you
that.
you do a boss
I
battle
like
against this.
randomly being in like the Chocobo racing room, and there's just like I think Rama on the ground, and nobody's picked it up, and it's like,
Yeah.
who dropped this? Guys,
I'll
like
take
this is like, come on, you could strike somebody with lightning. What are you just leaving it on the ground for? I like that easy it is to get that. It's just kind of funny seeing them in some weird places like that.
So I guess
Um,
are you team Tifa or Aerith?
You're ruining my thing. I was gonna say like my who's the best girl and why is it Yuffie, but don't worry that she's 16. Don't worry about it.
I was gonna say, I've got no comment.
Hey, she was 16 when I was 2. All right, listen.
Yeah.
It's all right. She's an adult in Advent Children because that's 2 years later.
Yeah.
I had Aerith in my team up until I couldn't have her anymore because I was just like, well, I might as well, I might as well
Yeah.
use her. Well,
Doesn't
I've
hurt
got her.
anything. That's what the materia is for.
Yeah. But I do, and I like Aerith, and I think she's really pretty, especially like in remake. But Tifa has really big bazongas. Like, I mean, I'm in the final cutscene, and like it lifts up on top of like the cliff, and I'm like, geez, that was very. It's like, wow.
We gotta cut
they're
that piece of
huge.
sound bit out and save it for later. Like for
I
soundboard.
I like Aerith. I mean, I do sort of
I
have
like
that
them
like
too.
I do sort of have the like she's Zach's girl thing, even though they apparently weren't really together that long. Like it's very shallow relationship. But Tifa really loves Cloud. Like
Yeah.
she gets a lot of time with him. She really helps him. Yeah, I mean, I like them.
And
I like
those
them all as
bazongas.
characters, but like, yes, and there's, but like, I like all the girls. They're great, but like, as I don't know, as a pairing, as a ship or whatever, it's Tifa and Cloud. Like I mean, Aerith's literally dead. Like, what's she gonna like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
I feel like
it's so funny though that people still argue about that, especially like remake and rebirth fans. It's like, man, that's like
Yeah.
it's the
I
jokes
feel
about
like people who are
Evangelion where
like,
it's been like however many years and you guys are still arguing about Asuka versus Rey.
yeah, I feel like people who are like
really
very
dead.
traditionalists of the
win.
OG, or yeah, like the OG traditionalists, I think stick with Aerith, and it's funny because like for me it was having played the when you just play the original, I think you kind of gravitate towards Aerith more, but then as soon as you play remake, you're like, no, it's Tifa and Cloud, like that. There's no debate. Like, this is ridiculous.
I had good affection points with Tifa at the end, even though I was like being primarily nice to Aerith. Well, maybe not, because I said some mean things to her and she didn't like it, but I still got a date with her, so and I gave the flower to Marlene, so I don't know who gives me what points do for that.
Oh, well, that's probably for Tifa.
Oh yeah. Like, rather than giving it to her, you give it to the kid, and I was like, yeah, I'll do
like
that.
I feel like Tifa would be like, oh.
It's probably one of those things like in a dating game where you pick the option you think is like better for them, and then it like is less points than doing the nicer thing or something.
You have to think about that during Rebirth too, because that the whole affection thing is in Rebirth.
Is it? It's more blatantly spelled out, not like a hidden thing, like it is in this one, right?
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't remember.
I think it's too like there. I think there is a meter or something, but it's still very generic. Like you could still, because like it's building with everybody just naturally anyway. So I don't think it's like, it's not completely obvious still. Like I even remember going into the Golden Saucer thinking like, oh, I hope I did this right. Because it was still a bit of a like, I hope this is gonna work out.
That's one thing I didn't super like in this game is the gold saucer. I didn't care that I didn't like it because like I didn't have to really engage with it besides a couple times. But I didn't really like it very much. I really liked the hotel in there. That's sick. Yeah. I want to go there for real. That's so cool.
Oh yeah,
But I was just like,
wait till you see that in remake.
It's like I wouldn't say it's like a letdown because like I don't care that I didn't care for it, you know. Like, yeah. So
it's better in
actually,
Rebirth anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to Final Fantasy 14 Gold Saucer, so you know, I like the proprietor of that one more than the 7 one. I did actually, even though we have the games on like PlayStation, because I beat the other night, I'm like, oh, Square Enix sale is finally on the eShop, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna play the demo for Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line because I didn't get that when it came out, and I'm almost kind of glad I didn't because like there's so much DLC for that it's probably just better off buying the super ultimate deluxe edition.
Yeah, the full.
Because then you get like Live Alive and Mana music and Saga music and everything. It's crazy. Like I think even Xenogears, which is the craziest thing, because like they don't.
Well, that's a Square property.
They're like, throw it in there.
Okay, maybe it's more surprising if they got Saga, which the Xeno Saga, which they didn't. but that's Bamco, I think. It's like, whoa. Yeah. It's crazy. Although I think, sadly, you don't. I mean, I don't like the art style for Theater Rhythm at all. I hate it. But it is kind of sad because it looks like you don't get character models for it, though. You just get the songs. I would have bought it when it came out if I knew that like the theme song of the Twinning, A Long Fall from Final Fantasy 14 was in it. I would have been like, yeah, give me that. I mean, I'm not very good at rhythm games, but like you can play it on easy. So, but I played that, and then I played the demo for Remake because I was just like, what? It's $25. That's crazy. Like, even though I have it on PlayStation, like to play, I was just like, I'll try it to see how it is. The only thing noticeable, like not because I didn't play it on PlayStation, so I don't. Like, I've got base PS5. I can't directly compare it, but from what I can see, it was on Docked. It was like, yeah, the hair isn't that great though, and that kind of sort of matters because certain characters have a lot of hair. And it felt like I don't turns out I am more of a graphics and performance snob than I thought, because I'm like, I could kind of feel the 30 FPS of but then when I played
it's 60 is much better for those
but
games.
I replayed the demo in handheld just to see how that was, because I know more so for like, well, I was watching some performance videos and stuff for Rebirth, because that's the one where I know it's like open, like a much longer game. And it's like I'm often sacrificing. Like I'm like, if I get my performance and graphics, then I get the not being able to play it as much burden instead. And I clicked the option where it's like with a head start, so I was like over leveled, and it was really funny because like I cut like 20 minutes out of it by skipping all the cutscenes and just like killing everyone or half an hour, and just like I'd kill a guy before they could finish talking about it. And at one point, Brad even said something because he was like way ahead of you. It was like great. But in handheld, it didn't feel sluggish. I guess because things normally perform at a lower frame rate in handheld or whatever, and it looks really good. So, I might have bought Remake on Switch too.
Yeah, I'd say Remake played great. I haven't played Rebirth, but I know they had to make more concessions.
They took all the stuff off the tables, apparently.
Yeah, like stuff like that, which I'm sure playing through it, I mean, you might recognize like, oh, it's sort of strange. These rooms are a little barren, but obviously I don't think it really, probably make that big of a difference in the enjoyment of the game. But yeah, both these games kick butt, Paige. So you're in for a treat.
I do like pretty and good performance, but like I was thinking when Revelation comes out, I have a problem where if I'm playing like some big RPG or whatever, then my husband ends up not playing it because he's seeing me play part of it. And I'm like, all right, so if I just put up with it and play the games on Switch too, then that means we can play it at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. So what are you waiting for? Get to it.
Well, I'm also like, I should try. I restarted Crisis Core and got back to the same level, like the second level basically. And I'm like, man, I keep taking a lot of damage. It's been a while since I played an action RPG where there aren't big MMO markers on the ground, and like the indications that they're going to attack they're very quick, basically. And if I'm just like mashing and stuff, it's like apparently it's not a problem so much on Crisis Core because apparently like I'm spending all my money on potions, but like apparently you do get more money further on, so it's not really a problem. But I feel like it's going to be more of a problem with like Remake where it's like similar, slightly different comics. They're worse actually because you can't just spam your spells and stuff like in Crisis Core. Like you just you got to like your ethers up, but like you don't have to wait to do them. Whereas in Remake you've got to like actually build up the bar to be allowed to do certain things, even like to use items. And it's like, man,
yeah,
I don't want to play this on easy mode, but like, it's like, I've actually got to like pay attention. And like I said, I've just been playing like different style of action RPGs for ages, where it's like, my help. So yeah, I was gonna say before, like last week where we committed to doing some certain things in the Discord, I was like, well, I don't think I'm playing another Final Fantasy until like maybe October 22nd, but maybe I am.
Yeah. You're gonna squeeze in just two big old games in before that.
I'm not really sure what I'm gonna, but yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll just yeah, because I'm like, well, I know Rebirth's kind of long, and I'm not really into optional content too much, but then I might because I'm like I did go a bit faster in the original, but like I can, if I start it sometime in the next few months, I should finish it before. What is it? Probably February. We're getting Revelation. March.
Yeah.
No, March or April. I don't know. What season did they say it was?
I think they said spring. Well, I think the first two games both came out like the very beginning of April, so I'm sure that's when this will come out. End of March, early April.
Okay, so more further on. So, I mean, if I just, I don't know, because there's a lot of games coming out after 2 months.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've got a lot to play, but
yeah, I mean, Rebirth is a long game.
If I get it if I do get in handheld, then that means I can play it more. I can get through it because don't have to have my turn on the TV to play it.
Yeah, I think remake was about 40 hours, and then Rebirth
That's
was like
crazy
100.
because it only took me 30 hours to beat 7.
Rebirth's only really long if you're doing all the side quests and stuff, which admittedly everything's really fun and you probably want to do a bunch of it, but like you could definitely get through it quicker than that. But yeah, there's a lot to do in a good way.
Well, I confirmed last night you can get through for Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy, in about 7 hours. So if you ever want to sneak that one in, you can.
Well,
I'm about an hour
actually,
in, so that's
before
good
you
to hear.
guys talked about it, I did pick up the GBA thing of 1 and 2. Bad news. In Final Fantasy 1 on the GBA, you can't pick the names for your party members.
No?
You just get random choices between a few for each like class type.
That's so weird.
And I'm very sad because when I first tried to play 1, I named it after everyone in like the podcast. Like when I have like a JRPG party of like 4 and there's no, there's
Whenever
no,
there's a
like,
dancer, it's named
actual
David,
character
right?
names. Yeah. Yeah. No, I made you a bunny girl for Dragon Quest, but then I didn't really play it, so I like
Puff,
doing
puff.
that because it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. No thanks. I'll take one from Tifa. No.
Yeah, David, no puff puff, please.
Yeah.
David's like, I wasn't the one offering.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot to. Actually, that's like the second time this year I finished a game that I bought like 6 years ago. So
She's chipping away at the backlog.
yeah, I'm just going. It's the time. I mean, I haven't even started Elliot. That's the, I've got we've got Stardust I want to play because that's what I was playing concurrently as Final Fantasy 7, but then I got kind of like got more into 7. Final Fantasy 2 with you guys. Now I picked up Remake. I didn't even touch Elliot, and I've got 2 months to beat that before all the way too many games come out. So I should probably start it by
Plenty of time.
August.
Yep. Yeah, too many dang games, but
Yes.
it's I guess a good time
And then
to be
we're all
alive.
playing old games instead. Yeah. So, are you guys happy and proud of me that I played Final Fantasy 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, for real. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it was.
I think in a perfect world, it's always like good to play the original and then work on the remakes. Like I'm sure plenty of people played the remake and went back, but yeah, it's the OG's so good.
Well, I
was
do
actually
like
thinking
when
about how
they,
I wouldn't mind replaying it at
put
some point
remake
soon, but
onto the eShop. They like early purchase bonus was you got the original with it digitally, so that's cool. Not anymore, but it was nice when they do that. Yeah, it's just like I'd heard that it was good, but I was quite blown away for the most part. I was like, wow, this is a really good game, and I really like it. And
Yeah, usually
now I'm
that's
scared to play another Final Fantasy. Maybe I won't like them so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not gonna have elevator fights.
No, the Final Fantasy 2 does not have any elevator fights.
They're not gonna have slap fights, are they?
No squat offs.
no 50 flights of stairs to climb up.
No muscle posing.
I didn't.
No
find
slurs.
Wow.
Oh, you know what was the creep? You know what's creepy? The Nibelheim. The bit where, like, I think Aerith's the one that gets picked by Don Quixote or whatever, and then you get dumped into this room, and all the guys get up and they just start walking towards you like zombies in Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
Well,
oh, this is
Aerith got picked in yours?
scary. Yeah, what is that something different that happens too?
Yeah, it could be like
You sure?
you could. I'm almost positive.
Unless it's just the remake or something.
Maybe the remake's messing me up, but I'm pretty sure You can be. I'm gonna have to look that up when we're done here. Pretty sure that I managed to get Cloud picked, but could be wrong. But maybe I'm misremembering it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so there's different items you can pick up, and like one of them I picked up, but like I didn't apply it. Like I randomly found the cologne, but like I didn't need it, I don't think. So it's just been sitting in my
Oh
inventory.
yeah, like because you have to max out like the appeal or something,
See, like
and then
that's
when
how
you go
many.
in,
There's all these little tiny optional things, and I had no idea. I just thought that was
yeah,
like. I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. When I was playing, Aerith was getting picked for everything, so I didn't know
yeah,
that it was a choice, sort of.
yep,
Like, that's
yeah.
crazy.
If you get the best stuff, then Cloud gets picked, and then Aerith and Tifa kick the crap out of all the guys in the room.
No, I got poked on by all the guys in the room, and they were walking towards me like zombies, and I was like, and then Cloud's like, I wouldn't date a scrub like you. It's just the 90s, but yeah.
That scene is pretty funny in the remake.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's another bit of line that I have opened up on my phone. Like I walked into a house and it's like, hey, didn't your mother ever teach you not to barge into houses and open up people's freezers? and I liked that I could call Aerith a slum drunk too. That was great. She didn't think it was funny, but I did. And also like some of the cool they did all the cool FMV cutscenes. I kind of liked when they did the mix of the models. Like there's a bit where you're flying off the pillar, and it's like the background is all FMV, but then you're like just little models on this thing, and it's swinging away. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, here's another funny bit of dialogue. I went back to like, I guess, a side of town after that incident with Don Canary, and like, in addition to dressing like a woman, it seems like you like to smash and grind things, so that they wouldn't let me in. So yeah, it's like it's not. It's a fairly like serious game, but there is all that nice bit of lightheartedness with just silly dialogue and funny things happen and like all this with this cool optional stuff where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna like probably not for a few years, but like I'm definitely gonna replay this game because I can do more stuff. Like I didn't touch any of those optional bosses, I tell you. I did walk into Emerald Weapon, but I was like, ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Not yet.
Nothing. Yeah, not yet. But yeah, anyone who hasn't played it should, and don't put any weird, gross visual mods on it.
No.
Yeah, play the OG.
Yeah, the OG is still best. Yeah. Cool. Well, it's exciting. I can definitely say going into this episode that I wasn't expecting Final Fantasy VII to be the secret game.
Wait, what were you thinking?
No, not me.
No, I had no idea.
I thought I was going to have to remember some things and like pull up knowledge that I didn't have. So this was a welcome surprise.
Yeah. I was pretty convinced that I wouldn't remember playing whatever game it was going to be, but so I'm glad we went with one.
I think it might be embarrassing for you if you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's true. Yep. Well, yeah, I guess for this episode we'll wrap it up there, but definitely lots more Final Fantasy VII content to come for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's no shortage of it. That's for sure.
At least next year, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, less than half a year we'll be playing it, or give or take, right? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Wasn't it February?
Yeah, well, yeah,
We're
I think we
thinking
said
March,
like
April.
Yeah, it's like I think it's gonna be March, April.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit longer than 6 months, but we're close. We're close.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Paige, for hosting this one and picking a fun game. Happy to hear
it is
that.
fun.
Yeah, happy to hear that you enjoyed it. So that's terrific. And yeah, like you mentioned, for the RPG Club, we're going to be starting. I guess it'll probably have started by the time this episode comes out because it's going to start July 11th, and so yeah, we have that coming up, and then we'll have the World Ends With You is going to be at the beginning of August if anyone's looking to join us for that one too. So yeah, I guess we'll wrap this episode up for this week. Want to thank everyone and for everyone in the Patreon for continuing to support us. And yeah, I guess we'll see everyone out at the next Thirsty Mage. Bye for now.
Bye.
Adios.